Hi Pratik, can you hear me
Hello.
now? Understood?
Yes, now it's perfect, loud and clear.
All
I
right.
guess
So
some
since
some
we
kind of
had
thing.
people joining in 5 minutes back, we're going to start bang on time, not making them wait anymore because I'm sure
Yeah,
they're here
I'm
to
I'm so
hear you.
sorry.
No,
I'm so
that's all right.
sorry.
That's all
Yeah.
right. All of you who are here with me in this session, a very warm welcome to this edition of Let's Talk with Ritika. It's a very special edition because I feel next 30 minutes of your time is going to be a great learning experience for you because we are all here to learn how to build your brand from India's leading digital marketing and personal branding consultant. Not just that, a hugely successful social media content creator, a distinguished keynote speaker, a man who's credited with a very successful podcast across platforms, an inspiration for all, but also an aspiration for many, Digital Pratik.
Thank you so much, Ritika, for that warm welcome. Thank you so much. Means a lot.
How are you, Pratik?
I'm
Mojma,
so.
your style. Mojma?
I won't lie, but I'm not 100% Mojma because of like
Right.
my spine and all. So I'm taking a
All
little
right.
bit break, but because I had committed this, so I wanted to do this live anyways.
Thank you so much for making time out
Yeah.
for us. Before I begin with my first question to you, Pratik, I'm just going to announce here that I've already accumulated a whole lot of queries because of the announcements of the session. But still, if our followers have queries they want to ask Pratik, please keep them flowing in throughout the session. I will not keep just last 5 minutes. I'll take your questions as and when they come. So keep pouring them in. In your introduction, Pratik, one thing I skipped, which I want to mention now, is that you're a three times proud college dropout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's begin with just a brief story about you, about the man behind Digital Pratik, about your journey till here.
Sure. So, without going much into my story, which anyways people can find on Josh Talks or my digitalpratik.com/about as well, just to give you a 10,000 feet overview. I'm a three times dropout by choice, but first was because my dad got a paralytic stroke, so I took a drop. Second and third were because I had to go to school because of family problems. So I went there. I was a bright kid. I scored 88% in science. I was an electronics and communication student. Didn't have any clue about this digital world. But when I took a drop, I did a call center job, which my friend recommended, which I didn't have any clue about. I borrowed formals from my friends, went to clear an interview. Luckily, I got that interview round cleared. I got this call center job in 2010. That's how it started. Did call center till 2014, raised myself to customer service head. And during that period of time, I just clicked one of the banners, how to make money online, such kind of banner at that point in time. Through which then the journey began slowly and steadily. I realized that, okay, fine, this is going to be a long term game. There's no quick rich money scheme. So I have to invest my time and all those things. Didn't have any clue about personal branding because Gary Vaynerchuk was not still in my life. I was just going through here and there, doing blogging because blogging was the thing over there. Then slowly and steadily came to YouTube, then Instagram, Periscope, and slowly and steadily as the platforms came in, I practiced them. 2015, I got my first ever job in digital marketing segment, and that's how I raised myself to product manager of a company till by 2018. So June 2018 was my last month of my full-time job. So I have been doing a full-time job since 2010 to 2018, full-time job, and along with that, side hustling as somebody who is a practitioner of social media platform. Termed myself as digital marketing expert, personal branding expert, where I didn't have any clue. But yeah, 2016, 15, when I came in touch with Gary Vee's videos, started consuming him, he became the biggest mentor of my life virtually. And that's how now I know that I'm just a practical practitioner of life, nobody else. So that's what is Digital Pratik in short of these past 10 years.
I know you lay a lot of stress on practicality, and I'm going to come to that
Yeah.
because you talk about things that you've actually learned from in your personal
Yeah.
experience, right? So that's
Yeah.
why it just sounds so much believable, and one can actually go by your example. Um, because there are just so many queries from people who are starting out, Digital Pratik, about they want to create a brand on digital social media platforms. If I was to ask to you, on behalf of all of them, what, according to Digital Pratik, are the essential tools of a successful digital marketing plan? What would those be?
The first plan is you have to communicate on social media platform, because if you want to build a brand in 2020 world, then probably somebody might be thinking of digital platform. Now you can be let's take a very extreme example of one of my friend, Raj Shamani. So he is into FMCG products and he has scaled his business like anything. So let's assume that he's not using social media. Then what he's using? He's using offline networks. He has to set up a factory and then he has to launch FMCG products. In that case, probably digital marketing won't be there. So you don't have to build a brand using digital platforms. All right. So businesses can be built. Making money is possible without digital platforms as well. Making a brand, building a brand is also possible. But let's suppose I myself, because I use digital platforms since ages, so I won't talk about those offline things. And you yourself know you have been an anchor, host. So you come from that traditional background as well, where social media was not the thing. But now, because it is, right now we are interacting. Probably this kind of thing might only have happened over a TV interview if that was
Right.
scheduled well in advance. Then you have this
Right.
camera setup and everything. But just
Many
think
people
how
working
easy
for
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly, how easy it is. So
Yeah.
when we talk about the digital platforms, if you want to build a brand, the only thing is you have to communicate. And I only believe that without figuring out Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or any promotion, the first thing which you have to do is content, which is just you communicating in trying to bring value to somebody who is watching you or consuming your content. And content can be only of four types: text, image, video, and audio. Whatever you are comfortable, if you're comfortable putting out content in all four forms, then well and good. Write an article, put out a post in the form of image, do video content, do podcast, which is audio content. So all four forms of content are there, right? So that's the number one thing which you have to figure out in the initial stage, that if you are not able to communicate on social media platform, then probably building a brand would be difficult for you. So you have to realize that. And then you have to compare that with doing engineering or doing medical studies, where everybody
Right.
thinks that, okay, fine, I want to be a doctor, and then takes this examination and then clears that and goes to a medical college. But not everyone would become a great surgeon. So that's the
Right.
point. All right. Everybody wants to build a brand online, but no, but not everyone would be able to do that. So
Right.
that's my first step towards building a brand on digital platforms.
Right. Right. And you also talk about a lot about repurpose your content according to the platform, right? For example, I have made a video or a content piece that may be Instagram friendly, but they may not be it may not be YouTube friendly. So how does one plan content and divide content and plan treatment of content across different platforms?
In this scenario, there would be two different types of individual which I always see. One is somebody who is super comfortable in all forms of content. Now, if I talk about myself, I have been very comfortable in doing videos, doing audios. So if you're by default in videos, then you are by default in audios, because you just have to rip out that.
Right.
So if you are somebody who is comfortable in video content, then definitely you would be able to put out contextual content on all the platforms. Meaning, let's suppose if I am able to do this IGTV live with you, where I'm not like I'm just investing my time right now
Right.
in sharing what I have done through my knowledge. So this
Right.
would be now when you would be ending this live, this would be an IGTV episode. I might be
Yeah.
downloading. I will be now telling my team to just chop maybe 3 minute or 4 minute version of an IGTV and then contextually edit that with some
Right.
headline subtitles for Instagram.
Right.
Then
Right.
I would also tell them that, hey, change the intro and share it on Instagram, LinkedIn, so that it becomes contextual to LinkedIn with certain headlines and all such kind of things. So you don't
Right.
have to actually plan your content based on like the platforms. What you have to do is figure out the macro content, which is what I deeply learned from Gary Vee, my mentor. Document over
Right.
create. And which is like when I self audit myself, I have been doing that like unintentionally or intentionally or fortunately or unfortunately, right? I didn't even know that I was already doing that. And that's what I call my tagline: learn, apply, share. I always used to learn something new in my day-to-day life, used to apply that, and then I used to share. So by default, I was documenting over creating content. So when you are
Right.
trying to document your content, probably you are very contextual in that macro form, which is the long form content. And then you can easily chop that up into various pieces. If you want to write a LinkedIn article, then probably this is the topic. So you ask me a question, I will give this to my team and I'll tell them that this would be the title: how to put
Right.
out contextual content on social media platforms in 2020 world. This would be the title. And then the entire thing which I've shared right now, the content writer in my
Me here? Pratik? Pratik, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Hello.
Hi, Pratik, can you hear
Yes,
me? See me?
yes, yes. I
Yeah,
just lost you for yes. I just had lost you for a couple of seconds,
it's
but
all
now
right.
it's fine.
It's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure you've been asked about this. The space that you're in, the digital world, it anyways doesn't need so much of face-to-face connection. But the last 5 months, which have been so adverse for a lot of industries, the lockdown, when we were actually
Mhm.
forced to be inside, how do you think the world of digital marketing has shaped up in this time?
I would say digital marketing has shifted. I would say just the information industry, which is like the educational business. People have started selling courses. The information industry has boomed like anything. On top of that, I have a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are into e-commerce business. I was just having 2 days ago, I was just having a word with one of my friends. She's running an e-commerce apparel brand. She's doing extremely well, and their business have grown to 8x times. All right, their industry has.
Hi, Pratik, can you hear me? I
Yes,
think
yes.
connection issues happening. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just saying that my friend over there, she's like booming like crazy on e-commerce background. Second is
Right.
my friend Raj, who just launches this product called insurance during this pandemic time. So he
Right.
also used digital marketing strategies plus offline strategies, and he generated a revenue of $1 million in like 90 days. So
Right.
yes, digital marketing has scaled for a lot of businesses, but they have degraded for a lot of people who used to ship products. So I had one of the clients whom we had to postpone because they are selling this product and shipping the product. So if you are shipping any product which is like consumer centric, then probably digital marketing was not able to help because in the lockdown you were not able to ship. All right,
Right.
but that's how it is. Like digital marketing has scaled like anything for a lot of businesses, but at the same point in time you have to do just branding for a lot of businesses who cannot sell during this
Right.
period of time.
Right. So I'm going to quickly start taking questions that have come from your followers. One of them is Santosh, and he wants to know, the digital Pratik, that how to learn, apply, and share on a daily basis. He thinks that sometimes he comes up with an idea and he applies it on Instagram. It does very well, but then he doesn't have a new idea for the next day. How to keep learning on a daily basis and keep generating newer stuff that keeps exciting viewers.
The best teachers in the world right now are Google and YouTube. The best teachers, like you can literally find anything over there, right?
Right.
Like the other day I was trying to figure out 4 to 5 days ago I did this Facebook live, YouTube live with Vaibhav Sisanti, Raj Shamani, Shreya, Divyanshu Damani. So we five together went live, and I was the guy who was handling the technicalities, and it was live on our platform. So the only challenge was using any software, we cannot go live on Instagram. So if I have to
Right.
learn, I was literally Googling, and I figured out that, okay, fine, there is a tool called Yellow Duck. And then I just asked my team to use that Yellow Duck and figure out what we can do to just stream our desktop version to our Instagram as well, just like Team Gary Vee does. So it's like
Right.
Google and YouTube. You just
Right.
search, right? People
Right.
are so becoming lazy in trying to go into paid courses and paid solutions that they are forgetting that there is Google and YouTube as well, which can give them free answers. The only thing
Right.
is you have to invest your time in doing a little bit of research. So that's my answer. Like you have to daily use Google and YouTube to learn, apply, and share. On top of that, if you want to just learn something, try to search something on Instagram search box as well. Try to search something on Apple Podcast search, Spotify search, and then go into podcasts, go into people's
Right.
account. You learn so much.
Since you talk about the paid thing, I would like to bring in Mohammed's question here, where he says that can one build following organically, or one does have to pay for it? You know, that you
Sorry,
actually, can I build my following organically, or do I have to take Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and spend money? Can one reach a level organically or not?
so your question has two different questions. So one is, can you grow your following organically, and second is, can you grow your following on Instagram organically? So those are the
Right.
two different parts. So first is, yes, you can grow organically. Second, On Instagram, no, you cannot grow on organically. Because see, you have to understand platforms, when they are new, their organic reach is super. On top of that, if the platform is becoming older, but if there is new feature which is coming up, then that feature will have organic reach to a very high level. Example, Instagram's overall organic reach is very less, like it's on the verge of dying, just like Facebook's organic reach is gone. But on Instagram, recently Reels have been introduced. So if you keep pushing out more Reels, then you might get more organic reach versus you posting on feed or IGTV or stories. So that's what you
Right.
have to understand. So
Right.
growing your following and growing your follower number, first of all, I'm totally against that growing number of followers because that has nothing to do with it. All right. Now, you being a TV anchor or host or something like that, when you came to Instagram, you definitely have more leverage than somebody who has never done anything and opened up an Instagram account. Because people
Right.
already know you, so you might get an initial boost of organic growth, but then it would saturate. So people
Right.
have to understand that it's not about Instagram growth or Instagram number of followers growth. It's about who you are. Have you done anything offline as well? That's what you have to understand. So you definitely have to use Instagram paid ads, not to grow your Instagram followers, because when people come to your profile, they'll see your content. If their content sucks, people won't follow you. People
Forward.
won't give a damn about following you if you don't have
Right.
content. Because
Right.
gone are those days where people used to come to Instagram just to see six-pack ab and bikini. I mean, gone are those days.
Right.
People literally want some information or some kind of value which might be driven. So value is not defined by just educating somebody. Value on a comedy page would be comedy. If that comedy is good enough, like just like Kapil Sharma or Krishna, if the comedy is good enough, people stick to it. That's the value.
Right. Right. So there's Mohammed Faiz. He's a follower of yours, and he sent me this question twice, so I might as well take it. He wants to do personal branding, and he wants to teach about how to make money online. Um, his question has two parts. One is how to brand myself, and second, he thinks Mohammed Faiz as a username is too big. Do you think that usernames matter?
No. When I started, my first ever username was Pratik Singh Chudasama, which is my full name. Before that, in 2010, when I started blogging on Blogspot and WordPress.com, my name was I am the online mastermind.wordpress.com. Then my first ever domain was I, me, and you are awesome.com. So I don't believe that name has to do something. But yeah, definitely if you're trying to build, let's suppose if you're trying to build this mouse and if you're trying to sell this as a company, then definitely the name might be important. But at the same point in time, when I hear Amazon, the word was not even in existence. Now we know the concept that, okay, fine, A to Z is the thing which is after Amazon. Then WhatsApp. I always give this example. WhatsApp. We used to say, hey, what's up? What's up, Ritika? SSUP, WASP, something like that. But now the world has changed. We talk in terms of, hey, WhatsApp me. All right.
Right.
How did that come? You do something behind that name so that people will try to recognize that name. Just like Gary Vaynerchuk. It's a Russian name. Gary
Right.
Vaynerchuk. All right. Still people
Right.
go on the website and type GaryVaynerchuk.com. So I personally don't believe that name is that much important in personal branding space, especially. All right. No other
Right.
businesses. Personal branding, name is not important. Second, see, like to start your personal brand, once again, coming back to the previous question, you have to understand the organic platforms and the inorganic platforms. The organic
Right.
platforms right now are LinkedIn, and TikTok was, but TikTok is gone. So LinkedIn is the platform where you have to grow. And on Instagram, if you start pushing out reels, these are the two things which would help you organically over a period
Right.
of time in next 6 months. And podcasts. Podcast is like voice recall. People will remember your voice forever. Like just imagine we remember RJs, radio jockeys, which we never have seen, but we just fall in love with their voice.
Your
So
voice.
I always treat podcast as my own radio show where I don't have to take anybody's permission to host my show. I just can
Right.
do anything right now. So that's the
Right.
podcast. So that's what I'm doing in organically. So these are the three things for organic and inorganic. Yes, you have to learn Facebook ads, Instagram ads, targeted ads, which can then get you some sales leads depending upon what kind of product you have when you are selling. And then you have to learn the sales funnel. So it's like a step-by-step process of
Right.
you doing something. So right now, if I just move my phone like this, there would be something which is coming up soon. But because I'm not feeling well, I just stopped this launch, or else this would be launched. I'm coming up with this Insta Auto machine, something like this. So now if I'm not knowledgeable about Instagram and I don't have any practical knowledge about things, how to generate leads and sales, how I have been doing, what are my results, what are my practical numbers and data, then it's useless for me to sell some kind of shitty course. That's what I
Right.
always believe. I came up with Podcast Challenge as a product to sell because I have done something in podcasting. So the number one
Right.
thing is, if you want to just teach people how to make money online, at least first for the 6 months, you try to figure out how you can make money online,
Right.
make some money online, make a
Right.
decent amount of money online, and then try to teach that how to make money online. Don't just do $500 ka affiliate commission and then create a course that, oh, hey, how to make money online by affiliate marketing. That won't make any
Right.
sense. So become a
Right.
practitioner.
So there's actually a question of personal branding tips for affiliate marketing that came from a handle called Digital Marketer. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Sure. The number one thing which I would tell you if you are just in affiliate marketing is that try to have a ClickFunnels account or any kind of account. Like I'm personally using ClickFunnels for sales funnel. So there is a term called bridge marketing. Before you sell anything, you have to bridge it with value. So like it's that philosophy of jab, 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 right hook of Gary Vee. And I always feel that you are in a boxing ring where you are just trying to see your opponent and you cannot hit that with your right hook like that. You have to do them jab, 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 meaning you have to ask, give, and then ask. All right. So you
Right.
have to bring value, and that's where you have to learn email marketing automation. You have to learn sales funnel. You have to just have lead magnets. So you start collecting data, leads, and then if you are knowing Facebook ads and Instagram ads, then you can have your custom audience. You can have lookalike audience based on the leads which you have. You can nurture them consistently through email marketing, and that's how it goes. So that's an overall picture of you doing email marketing, you doing sales funnel, you promoting your product, you having knowledge about copywriting skills, you having knowledge about Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and plenty of things.
Right. All right. There's a user called Kuldeep Singh, and he's asking for personal experience. He's saying how personal branding is helpful for a student in bachelor's who has a passion for teaching and wants to make it into a profession. How do I do it online, considering now the restraint is that I can only teach online? So, how do you actually make yourself, for example, a brand of teaching?
A very practical example is something which I used to do in 2018. I used to take call consultations absolutely for free. Right now, I charge thousands of rupees, but at that point in time, I used to give 30 minutes free consultation on the things which I used to know. So the first step is, what do you know? Right? Try to figure that out. If you know something very well, try to have that as the value or the consultation which you will give. Then go to calendly.com. Calendly.com will help you to schedule your call on automation and then link that up with your Zoom. Calendly and Zoom integration will help you to schedule calls in advance and now start promoting your free consultations. In that way, what will happen is you will be providing free value to people who are booking your calls. You will get experience of consulting people. You will get experience of teaching people. You will get experience of communicating via video on Zoom calls. You will get plenty of experiences. And in doing
Right.
so, you will also build your own content if you are recording that Zoom call. And in
Right.
that process, you will also have your own content, which would be then becoming like a documentation of what you are doing. And in maybe 1 year, if you do that 365 days, if you just imagine, like Ritika, if somebody, a student, if he or she takes one call for 365 next days, absolutely for free, then in 1 year, he or she will have 365 unique pieces of 30-minute episodes.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy amount of content which can bring value to people. And in the process, he or she will also figure out that whether they are good at teaching or whether they are good at consulting, coaching and things. So they'll become
Right.
more self-aware as well. So that's
Right.
my number one thing which I will tell you them.
That's a great tip. But also talking about, well, you mentioned the name a couple of times, so I might as well ask you your icon, your inspiration. Is it Gary Vee you always keep talking about?
No, in 2010, when I jumped into this, before that as well. See, if I go back, see, I always, when I think of my mentors, I always try to self-audit my past since first standard. So if I say my first standard mentor, I have never said this on record. This is for the first ever time in my life. When, see, right now, this is like in present, I'm self-auditing myself. So I just
Right.
went back to first standard. Very few people know that I have taken drop in first standard as well. I have done first standard twice. I didn't appear for my examination because my mom was at her home because of my sister. Like we were expecting my sister. So she was not there. I used to cry while I used to go to school. So my dad took this liberty and he came to school and he talked to my principal and he said that he will not appear for the examination. He'll once again come back to first standard. All right. Will you allow that? And my principal ma'am allowed. So when I think of that right now, yes, I treat her as an icon because prior to that drop in first standard, I was a lazy kid. But something happened after that drop. I became a scholar all of a sudden. I don't know how. All right. So that changed, and I treat that as a mentor, which is a very tiny bit, but a super important thing because since first standard till 12th standard, then I became a scholar student, a good student who used to score well, and I became the class monitor from first standard till 12th standard. So if that incident might not have happened, if my teacher won't allow me, then probably I wouldn't be like this person right now. So when I think of that, there are a lot of mentors like that. But yes, to talk about digital mentors, Vix Risers in 2010, 11, 12, David Sharp, David Wood, Bob Proctor for Mindset, Vishen Lakhiani, MindValley.com. All these people have been like, for me, like mentors for me. All right. I have been consuming their content since long now. Grant Cardone, when I was into call center job, I used to watch Grant Cardone's YouTube video because he used to go on live calls at that point in time. Grant Cardone. Now I don't follow him. All right. Okay. Since 2015, I have been following Gary Vee. So it's like in different phases, you come across different people. And now when I'm at 31 years age, I might get married in a few, maybe next year, maybe. So when I'm going to get married next year, probably I'm thinking of parenting in advance. So what will happen? What kind of shifts might come? My dad and my mom are alone right now. They are all home. So I'm now taking that break, parenting, like a kid's responsibility toward parents, spending time, quality time, how to convert that less time into quality time, all these things. So relationship mentors are also there. John Butcher, who is the founder of Lifebook. Now, if I start talking about mentors, like I can go on and on and on because in the present, when I'm speaking, this is how my like mind thinks. I try to keep on going into like my past in the present in a blink of a second, and I think of him or her as a mentor for my life.
Right. But you know what is really interesting about you, Digital Pratik, is that you have so much to share and make other people learn from. And you yourself are learning all the time.
Exactly.
You're always in that learning mode. Despite being at a position you are, where a lot of people are there to follow what you will say.
And that's what I tell my parents as well, and my nephew, my niece who are younger to me. Like I always tell these guys and girls and my elders as well, that by God's grace, I'm super duper grateful that at the age of 31, which is super young right now as compared to a lot of other people who are at 50, 55, I have achieved a lot in terms of mindset, in terms of practical experiences, which a lot of people don't. So in the past 10 years, in my 20s, entire 20s, because I come from a very lower middle class family, I have grown myself on my feet. And I have done everything on my own with all the struggles, challenges, and everything which people don't even have clue about. So the thing is, I have gone through so much and then becoming positive over here in my head, not giving a shit about people. Gary Vee coming into my life, then he's strongly influencing me 10x times even more. So things happen and I have a lot of things to share. And that's the reason why I always go in an interview or this kind of live. And I always tell people who are on the other hand, just like you, that please don't give me any questions. I am super natural and raw in sharing the things which I have done because I have done a lot. And like time doesn't permit me to share everything.
Right. But tell me, how does one keep up to date with technology? Because it's ever evolving, right? Now we say that it's going to be the age of artificial intelligence. So someone who's got to do with something which is so much technology based, how do you keep updated on what's happening on that front?
The first thing which you should not do without even using the update is don't compare yourself with somebody else. What I mean by that is this is super, super important. One of my fellow marketeer friends and a great entrepreneur as well, Varun Maya, who is in Bangalore. Varun Maya is completely into like that field of programmers and pata nahi wo AR VR mein kya karta hai. I have no clue about that because it's completely programming. Now, when I think if my mindset is of comparison, I'll always feel regret because what happened was in college, I was not that good programmer. I left engineering because of some kind of programming. I still hate C, C++, Java and all such kind of languages. All right. So if I now try to compare myself with all these people who are doing AR, VR, or if I try to create filters on Snapchat and Instagram, I will fail miserably. I'll fail miserably. Instead, what I do is I try to keep myself up to date with technology in the things which I'm comfortable. So I focus on my strengths. What is my strength? My strength is communication. My strength is becoming a practitioner of practicality of life. So
Right.
I just do whatever I'm comfortable with. And right now as well, see, like I don't, for the first ever time in my life, I'm against or I'm away from technology. Like I have not posted a single post on Instagram feed since past 3 days. And that has been a challenge for me. All right. That has been a challenge for me. I'm not even posting anything. Maybe I might have posted 5 or 6 stories. I have just like shared your posts over here because we were going to do live. And like after 4 days, I'm coming on live. But I don't think of that. So I don't compare anything and I just try to do whatever I can. So the
Right.
thing is with the technology, right now, if I tell you, I also have my Alexa skills. I'm also doing that. My friend is developing Alexa skills for my brand. But I don't talk about that. Why? Because the more we try to talk about all those things, we feel that we know everything. But when
Right.
we don't do that, then we feel, okay, fine, मेरे को आता है फिर भी वो नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. मेरे को आता है फिर भी वो नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. And then we go into that infinite loop of we getting like that regret feeling that यार
Right.
वो बंदा है ना ज्यादा up to date रह पा रहा है, मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. Instead,
Right.
what I'll say is in your plate, maybe there are 100 different sweets. At least try to finish 2 sweets and just enjoy that sweetness of that sweet. काजू कतरी खा लो यार, पूरी जितनी खा सकते हो. क्यों तुम
Right.
मोहनथाड़ और सोन पापड़ी और ये सब में जा रहे हो? So that's
Right.
like a very layman example that people try to finish their food in the plate all together and then they try to stay up to date or just enjoy the taste. You won't be able to. All right.
Right.
So just do whatever you can and don't compare because everyone's human tendency and capabilities are different. I cannot be that anchor or host just like you are because I cannot read the scripts. I cannot just, I cannot cram the scripts. I am not like that. So I'll fail miserably if I was done on TV or some kind of host show. That's the point. Don't compare.
Right. So I'm going to take one last question from Abir because after that we have some questions of our own. This is from Keshu Kanoria. He says he started young. He says he's in school and he's trying to do marketing, but when he tries to sell and market things to people who are, of course, buyers are older in age, they don't take him seriously.
Ritika, I have completely lost you because
Can you hear me?
your
Can you hear me?
screen is totally blurred and your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me again? I think from my side there is no problem. It's Pratik, it's network from your side because I can hear you, see you very properly.
Okay. Now your screen is clear.
Am I back?
Okay. Yes,
Am I
a
back?
couple of yeah. Somebody saying Ritika, your video has gone bad. So your video was just frozen. I don't know
Okay.
how.
Am
All
I
right.
back
Cool.
now?
Cool. Yes.
Okay.
Please. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so this question is from Keju Kinogia, who was saying that he's in school, so he started really young. He wants to market things and is trying to sell things, and the buyers are, of course, older in age, but because of his age, he thinks he's not being able to sell something. Do you think the problem is with age or the problem is in the strategy?
Strategy. Age has nothing to do. Age has
Right.
nothing to do with you selling the product. The classic example is diapers. All right. Baby diapers. The diapers is a product. Diaper is a product which is what? Which is consumed by a baby, which has no clue about the diaper itself. All right. But the customer of that diaper is what? Parents.
Right.
Parents are not the consumers of that product. Parents are the customers and consumer is totally a different person who is the baby. Now the diaper company has strategy. I'm just using one product example.
Yeah.
There are a million other products. So what diaper has done? Diaper has intentionally targeted people who are into an old age group, which is not old age group, into parents group. So they are
Right.
not targeting young kids because it is
Right.
useless.
Right.
Right? आप डायपर को एक 17 साल के बच्चे को क्यों टारगेट करोगे?
Right.
So that's the point. So all the advertisements of diaper would be what? Baby hai, parents bhi hai. Baby hai, parents bhi hai. So the point is you have to strategize something. Recently there is an advertisement which if you have seen on television, there is an advertisement going off WhatsApp. जहां पर एक दादी होती है और वो कनेक्ट करती है एंड देन व्हाट्सएप में वीडियो कॉल में देखती है So that
Right.
WhatsApp. So now just understand that video is all about emotions and connecting people. और फिर
Right.
end में WhatsApp आता है. All right.
Right.
But now we are able to recall that with some emotions, with some strategy. कि हाँ WhatsApp की वो ad है, WhatsApp की वो ad है. So at times, if your product is completely opposite to what you are, then you have to do something in your strategy which is kind of a recall. जैसे कि
Right.
Trivago. All right. क्या
Right.
आपने होटल बुक किया है? That line is so popular now that people recall Trivago like anything. Though that
Right.
guy was not the owner of Trivago, 90% of the people thought that he was the owner of Trivago.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Right.
It's all about the strategy and how you put your like marketing things around your product. It has nothing. Let's assume that if this product, this copper vessel, is digital Pratik copper vessel, I don't have to sell this product. I just have to drink this using this vessel all the time. Just like
Right.
Red Bull does. Red Bull never promotes Red Bull. What Red Bull does is like the company gives Red Bull packages to all the influencers and they keep on wearing the t-shirt, they keep on doing stunts, they keep on having that logo. That's how Red
Right.
Bull is.
Right. I just want to make a public announcement that none of these questions were actually told to Pratik before. He is such a natural that everything is just coming and flowing. So now when I actually have to move to fast 5, 6 questions with him, I'm thinking you're going to ace it in 2 minutes. So here, Pratik, my questions with you. My first one, and we're going to keep them very, very quick.
Sure.
Is there anything in your career path till now that you look back and you think you would like to redo in another way?
Dance, choreographing.
Okay.
Being a dancer, like I was a great dancer. I can still do dance, but now only Garba and all. So I used to win Garba competition. I used to win, not win, but I used to dance in front in my school and college when it
Right.
used to come to dance. I still have a dance which is 5 or 6 years ago, which was my last solo dance, which I have done on Iqbal Ka Jeena. And I have
Okay.
never done a dance class to learn any kind of dancing. I have only watched YouTube videos after Kaho Na Pyare came in 2000. So in
Right.
2000, I was in, so 10th standard was 2005 and 5 years back. So I was in 5th standard when Kaho Na Pyare came. And I
Okay.
saw this Hrithik Roshan and Kaho Na Pyare was like boom picture at that point in time. All right, a great picture, a movie.
Right.
And then Iqbal Ka Jeena and all such kind of movies I just used to watch. So I think that if I would have taken that up because my parents didn't allow me. Now they'd say that okay fine, काश मैंने किया होता तो reality show में तू होता. मेरे parents अभी भी बोलते हैं. So I would have
Right.
been gone to Dance Plus or some kind of thing. So yes, that is one thing which I think if I would have taken that seriously, I would have been a great dancer. But now when I see that okay fine, जैसे वो reality shows में parents आते हैं ना, somewhere down the
Right.
line 10 years later maybe I might come as a parent of my kid who might be dancing and then I might dance over there in front of judges and it's like a fantasy.
Right. So what does digital Pratik think is his biggest strength?
Sorry, biggest
Strength.
strength,
आपको
consistency.
सबसे बड़ी बात.
My
Consistency.
biggest strength is consistency.
Okay.
I just give myself enough time to prove myself to myself, not to anyone else. All right.
Right.
I give enough time. A classic example is right now, if I'm taking this break of posting content, which is like a huge step in my career because I have made myself because of my content. Now, if I'm taking that step back, let's see what happens. I'm just super pumped. I'm super pumped because of two things. One, I'll shut all the people's mouth who say that content अगर आप नहीं डालोगे तो आप successful नहीं हो पाओगे. लेकिन आप नहीं डालोगे उसके बाद कैसा डालते हो वो भी important है. That's something
Right.
which I will definitely do something about that whenever I am once again active on content, once I'm well 100%. And second thing is something which I'm giving myself a challenge that once I am off this thing. So सब लोग ये wait करते हैं and regret करते हैं that sir reels आया है. Right now reels is booming. So if I don't do reels, will I be successful? And I'm like, no, it's not like that. Just figure out what you're good at and keep doing that. And eventually you might be successful. Same thing I'm doing. All right. I'm taking a break when reels are booming like anything. I'm not able to post reels.
Right.
So it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
Let's see what happens. So I'm curious enough and challenging myself that when I'll come back, what will happen? And then I'll prove it with my actions, not because of my words or something. So yeah, that's something which I wanted to share.
Consistency. All right.
Yep.
One thing that you do when you're not doing digital marketing, your work, something that is you other than your work?
I watch Netflix. I watch. I spend my time with my parents as well when I'm at home. I watch Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma with my parents while having dinner. I watch मम्मी के साथ कभी कभी 10 बजे अगर मैं बैठा हूँ तो मैं टीवी में अभी वो अनुपमा सीरियल देखती है तो वो भी मैं देख लेता हूँ थोड़ी थोड़ी.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a normal human being who tries to spend quality time, and then versus that when I'm working, I work so much, but I try to be very productive in my work. So
Right.
recently I have been taking all my lunch. Whenever I take my lunch, I just watch Netflix. I watch an entire episode of some kind of season. So I take a lunch break of 40 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. All right. And then I don't stand up unless I finish my episode. But then I don't regret. All right. So
Right.
because when I work like crazy and I don't think of anything else. But when I am into that, so I live my life in extremities basically. When I'm enjoying, I completely enjoy in Netflix, Amazon. I have all the accounts Prime. I have all the subscription. Netflix subscription premium plan, Hotstar premium plan, a Prime premium plan. I have all the things. So you tell me I have watched everything. I have recently the latest one which I have watched is Superpower on Netflix, Khuda Hafiz on Hotstar.
You're really done with
Like,
that. Okay.
yeah, I'm done with that.
Okay.
I'm done with
Okay.
all of those things. I have watched
Okay.
Money Heist. I mean, I enjoy. I
Okay.
literally enjoy.
Consuming content. Other than creating content, you love consuming content, right?
Yeah, I just spend my time. I watch Kapil Sharma like to refresh my mind. I just randomly
Okay.
search on YouTube. I watch one video. I randomly watch Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma and watch random video.
Okay. All right. What is that one thing Digital Pratik would want to do when life comes back to normal post this pandemic is over? That one thing that you really want to do.
I didn't get your question. The voice was broken.
What is that one thing you really want to do when life comes back to normal after this
Okay.
pandemic,
Flight,
the COVID
fly,
is
fly, fly, fly. I
right?
literally am missing out my flights. Like since January 2019, I started flying a lot in my
Right.
career because of keynotes and everything. So January 2019 to February 2020, there hasn't been a single month in my life during those 12, 14 months that I have not taken at least 2 flights. Minimum 2 flights in 1 month. That's what my schedule was. And I'm just saying two, but it was 3 to 4 minimum.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
missing that. I used to take most of my flights, I used to take at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning. And I used
I
to go
share
to airport.
your pain. Here I share your pain.
I go to airport intentionally at 12 a.m. so that I can work on airport. All right. I used
Right.
to record videos. I used to work and things. So I'm missing my airport life and working life over there.
All right. And Digital Pratik, my last question to you is what is your dream step in your career that if you manage to do that, you think that you've kind of achieved what you set out for?
My dream step. I would go a little bit awkward in this particular one. My dream step is into my relationship with my parents and my future partner, whosoever she would be. That if I am able to spend at least 1 hour quality time every single day with them, along with all my productivity in my work throughout my life, or at least maybe 90 days, every 90 days. And then I might just like completely work, or maybe after 6 months, I might just completely take an off, which I have learned from Gary Vee. All right. So he always takes 1 to 2 weeks vacation on August, in the month of August. Other than that, he's completely working. So that is like over communication. So right now as well, like that would be my dream step if I'm able to do that, because I'm still single. I cannot 100% be sure about that. Once I get married, with respect to parents, yes, I'm able to do that. I've successfully done that over these years. But with respect to my partner in future, yes, I would completely 100% assurance वाला जो answer होगा ना वो शायद 2-3 साल के बाद मैं दे पाऊंगा. But yeah, that would be my dream step.
I'm sure gonna catch you for another live at that time and check on this question. If you manage to do this or not by
For sure, for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Pratik. Thank you so much. I know you're not
Thank
well,
you.
but you spared time for this. It's really been a pleasure, and it's very rare to have conversations that just flow. Where you don't have to cue, where you don't have to put in keywords. It's been really nice talking to you, and wish you recover well from whatever has been troubling your health, and may you keep inspiring all of us. A big thank you to all the followers who send in the queries. I try to take as many as possible, but I promise, and we will do another live session soon and try and take that up. Um, Pratik, may you be a force to reckon with, not only in digital marketing in Indian space, but the world over. All the very best to you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you so much, Ritika, for having me. And thank you so much, all of you who are wishing over here and all the lovely hearts which are popping out throughout the life. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ritika, once again. Take care.
Thank you. With this, we end this very special edition of Let's Talk with Ritika with Digital Pratik. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.